Hey guys, welcome to today's workshop. In today's workshop, we will learn about MongoDB from scratch. So before moving ahead, let's clear the agenda of today's session. In today's session, we will learn about the overview of NoSQL databases. We will learn about CRUD operations that will be used for manipulation. That includes create, read, update, and delete command. Then we have aggregation. In aggregation, we will learn about the commands such as count, distinct, and many more. Then we'll move forward towards indexing, which is one of the most important concept of MongoDB. So, at first, I would like to know if you know about database or not. Can you ping me on chat window what is a database? Anyone? You can comment in the live chat. Exactly. Database is a collection of records, a collection of data that is interrelated to each other. It could be a student record, a record of students, a record of employees, a record of hostel information. So databases are of two types, SQL database and no SQL database. SQL database is basically a relational database. It is in the format of a table. It is in tabular format. For example, Excel sheet. In Excel sheet, we have rows and columns. Similarly, in SQL databases, we have rows and columns which have a rigid structure and a limited storage. Now, what's NoSQL? On NoSQL, I'm going to put more emphasis since we are going to learn MongoDB. So NoSQL is obviously the opposite of SQL database. In NoSQL database, we do not have any tabular structure. It will be flexible. It will not have a rigid structure, and it will have unlimited storage. At first, let's understand what is SQL and NoSQL database. As I have told you earlier, SQL database is in the format of tables, whereas NoSQL is flexible. It do not have any tabular structure. SQL database has a limit. It cannot store more than 100 of GB of data. I'm clearing you with the theory part because theory is also important in order to run the commands practically. So you should know the difference between SQL and NoSQL. Okay. And what was the reason of migrating to NoSQL from SQL? Okay. So SQL was very expensive, whereas NoSQL is an open source software and its expensive are really low as compared to SQL database. SQL database have a fixed schema. I hope you understand the term schema. Schema means underlying structure. Since SQL database has a rigid structure, it means if one row has 5 columns, then each and every row should have 4 columns. Whereas in NoSQL database, if one row has 4 columns, it's very much possible that next row would have 5 rows, 5 columns, or next row would have 7 columns. So it do not have any schema, any underlying structure. Therefore, we call MongoDB or NoSQL database as schema-less. Okay, the next difference is SQL database has a centralized server, whereas NoSQL database has distributed servers. Therefore, there are multiple nodes and multiple requests can be sent to each node. Therefore, the procedure is quite easy. It is quite efficient comparatively. So let's see some of the popular NoSQL databases. Some of the very popular are Redis, Apache Cassandra, MongoDB, CouchDB. Even Redis is used by Hike for storing the messages. Although Hike uses MongoDB for message storing, but for real time, it uses Redis. In today's session, we'll focus on MongoDB and NoSQL database. So, what is MongoDB? MongoDB is basically a NoSQL database which is written in C++ language. And everything in MongoDB is stored in a format known as BSON. BSON is nothing but binary JSON, which is similar to JSON format. If you are not familiar with JSON format, I am going to tell you how JSON format looks like. Don't worry. So here is the look. In JSON format, we have one key and value. It's similar to Python dictionary if you have learned Python. If not, then I'm going to tell you each and everything from scratch. Even if you are a non-programmer, you will understand each and every command that I am going to write. Okay. So here is the key that is enclosed in the parenthesis. So our first key is customer ID and its value is 11. Another key is customer name and its value is Guru99. Okay. It's the example of JSON format which is enclosed in this parenthesis. Now let's understand the difference between RDBMS and MongoDB. RDBMS is nothing but Relational Database Management System. So a MongoDB database consists of n number of collections. Collections are nothing but tables. In MongoDB, we call tables as collections. Then collections may have documents. Documents are nothing but rows. In MongoDB, we call rows as documents and columns as fields. I would request you to take a screenshot of it because in the course of this session, we are going to use the terms very often. Like we are going to use collection very often for table and document for rows and fields for column. So please take a screenshot of it. Okay. Organizations that are using MongoDB. If we are learning MongoDB, we should know the scope of MongoDB. And let me tell you, in the future, no one is going to use SQL due to its rigid structure and limitations. Every organization will use MongoDB or NoSQL database particularly. So, what are the organizations that are using MongoDB? Your Aadhaar card. Aadhaar project uses MongoDB for storing the data and the use cases. Rediff, you must have heard about Rediff. Rediff uses MongoDB for news publishing system. As I have told you earlier, Hike also uses MongoDB for storing the messages. Although for real time it uses Redis, which is another NoSQL database. So Hike completely depends upon NoSQL database. It do not use SQL database. So if MongoDB is not installed on your system, you can download the community version from the official MongoDB website. So I'm going to tell you the step-by-step procedure in the next 10 minutes. If you have already downloaded it, well and good. But if you not, then I'm going to tell you everything. So go to your Chrome. Search MongoDB download in your Chrome browser. And click on the first link. And then click on this right side download button. Once you click on that, your folder will be downloaded and I'm giving you next 2 minutes to install it on your system. It will take hardly 2 minutes to install it. Search MongoDB, download on your Chrome and then click on the first website and click on download. Once you are done, open your My Computer and go to your C drive. Open your My Computer and go to C drive. In C drive, your MongoDB should be present inside the program files folder. Open program files folder. In program files folder, you must be having a folder known as MongoDB. Since you installed it in your C drive, so it must be present inside your program files. Click on MongoDB, then server, then 4.4, and then bin. Copy this URL. Once you copied it, search for variable in your start bar. Then click on this edit the system environment. Click on environment variables. Then click on path. At any moment of time, you can stop me in the chat window. I'll repeat the steps. But make sure you download it successfully, since we are going to do the hands-on in the next few minutes. It's for those who do not know the installation part. So click on this path and click on this edit button. Since I have already added it, it's present there. You can click on new button and can paste the path that you copied. Click on OK. Okay, once you are done, open command prompt. I have opened the command prompt. Let me close it. Open your CMD command prompt. Then right click on and run it as an administrator. Since I'm on system 32, that is my user account. So let me go to the correct MongoDB path that you have pasted a while ago. So click enter CD, that is change directory, and right click and paste the path that you have copied. Since we want to go to 4.4 folder where we have each and every folder present, you want to go to this path, okay, 4.4. And click on enter. Now make a directory. MD stands for make directory data, and use this backslash. Since I have already created it, it's giving me an error that subdirectory of the file already exists. Use this command, then create a folder inside data, that is DB folder. Click enter. Once you are done, then installation of MongoDB setup is already installed. Please ping me on the chat window if you are done with this process, since I want to move further ahead. If you have not downloaded it yet, please write down in your notebook. These two commands are very important, and please make sure that you are on the correct directory path. Okay. Once you are done, close this window, this command prompt which you have opened with administrators right. Now search for CMD again. Open the window and enter MongoDB. MongoDB will start the MongoDB server. MongoDB command will start the MongoDB server. Yes, I'm going to forward fastly, but due to some students, I'm moving slowly. So once your server is loaded, open another CMD command. In this command, enter Mongo. In that CMD, you wrote MongoD to start the server. Now enter Mongo to open the Mongo shell. The shell is open. Now let me clear the screen for readability purpose. CLS, using CLS command. So at first, let's create our database. For creating the database, we use a command use. Suppose my database name is session. I'm creating a database named as session. So I'm switched to DB session. If you want to check if your database is created or not, just enter DB. Since I wrote DB and I got session as the output, it means my database is created. So now let me create a collection or a table. Okay, DB dot create collection. It is my first table. Okay, table 1. Make sure you write the collection C capital. Collection already exists. Okay, let me use another connection. DB dot create collection. Since I am using this MongoDB from a quite long time, so maybe I have created with the same name. Collection table 7. I got a response as okay one. It means true. My table 7 got inserted. Let's create few more tables. What if I want to drop the table? I want to delete the table from my database. So I'll use the command db dot table 7 dot drop. It will delete my table from the database. Okay, the table 7 is deleted from my database. So how to check if it is deleted or not? So use this command show collections. It will show all the collection, that is all the tables that are present in your database. So we have table 1, table 2, table 3, table 8 and table 9. 7 is deleted from the database. Now let's move ahead to our DML operations, that is create, delete, read and update operations. Okay. At first we'll learn about create operation. That how could we create the database. So we have already created the database, we have already created the collection. Now we'll try to insert the values inside our collection or inside our table. For that we are going to use insert command. Suppose I want to insert inside my table number 8. So db.table8.insert. Insert has three variations. I'm going to tell you about all the three variations. Insert one is the first one. If you want to insert only one document, then you will going to use insert one. So insert one is a function, and inside that we are going to enter the document. Document is in the format of JSON, therefore parentheses are required. Inside this parenthesis, we are going to enter our code. Okay. Insert one. Suppose I am working for a bookstore. The bookstore would have n number of books. So, and these books have ratings and all the other attributes. So I'm going to add that. I'm working for a bookstore. So it has a book which belongs to academics type, comma. It has a rating of 4. Then its cost is 140 rupees. And it is available, its versions. Now I'm going to enter the editions in which they are available. So one more thing, in NoSQL we do not have the concept of joins that we had in SQL databases. In SQL database we had joins, but in NoSQL we do not have any concept of joins, because inside one document we can embed the other document. So in this document on which we are working, we can add another document as well. So for adding the document we use this parenthesis. So additions. For V1 edition was published in 2011. V2 edition was published in 2012. V3 version was released in 2019. Okay, so I have closed this document structure, then close the above document structure, and then close this structure. Object inserted, acknowledge true. It means my row got inserted inside that. Let's add few more. Let me add it sports. Rating is 5. Okay. Suppose I want to add a array of values. Suppose I want to add an array of values. So let me call my table 8 dot insert. Insert is the another, insert many is the another variation. In insert many, we can add n number of documents all together. Then we have another variation, that is insert. In insert we can enter only one document as well as multiple documents. It is for both use. Okay, so in insert we'll add this type extracurricular. Then we have rating 2, and then we have its colors. It's available in green color. It's an array of values. Okay, so we can add array inside this. it's inserted. Now we can add multiple documents inside a single attribute as well. These are some of the variations that I want you to learn, since they will be very helpful to you. Table 8 dot insert hyphen rating 4, and then we have its categories. Okay, since we are going to embed n number of rows or n number of documents inside categories, we will use array, and then we are using documents, we are embedding the documents, therefore we will use these parentheses. Okay, at first for color, if color is let me write down cost will be more easier for you to understand. if color is if color is red, then price is 120 rupees. Okay, and if color is green, then price will be about 150 rupees. You have to match each and every parenthesis. Okay, this is for this, and then for square bracket, and then we have the above parenthesis, and then the final bracket symbol. Okay, it got inserted. So we are done with the create command. Now in CRUD operations, we have next operator, next term, next manipulation term, that is read. How we will read or how we will fetch the database data from the database. Okay, let's fetch the data from table 8. db.table8 dot find. Find will return the will fetch the data from the database. So find will return this database, but it's not readable. To make it readable, add pretty to make it just look pretty. db.table8 dot find dot pretty. It's in the readable format. You must be thinking that what is this ID? We haven't added that term, from where it is coming. So ID is nothing but it acts as a primary key for your database. Since I have not given any primary key to my database, therefore MongoDB auto generates the primary key. Each and every ID will be unique for each row. So ID is nothing but primary key. If someone asks you in your interview question, and answer them that MongoDB already auto generates its ID. So let me clear this screen. Then for find, suppose you want to find multiple attributes at all together, then we have a command known as AND command. Before studying about AND, let's understand about find in deep. What is this find? db.table8 dot find. Find have two attributes. One is query. Query is nothing but the condition, and the second parameter is projection. Find in query, we will write the condition based upon which we want our output to be printed. A condition could be like where price is greater than 10, where price is less than 500, similar to that. And projection is the attributes that we want to display on our system. So let's take an example. Query. Suppose I want to print only those records which have rating as 4. Rating as 4, comma, projection. In projection, what we want to display and what we do not want to display. So at first, let's run the query without the projection. Without the projection, as you can see, only the rating 4 records are printed, but they are printed with all the other attributes. So let's add our projection. Projection will also is also a document, so it will come inside a parenthesis. So we want to hide ID. So we'll enter 0 to hide. Then we want to display price. So we'll enter 1 for price, and for type we'll enter 0 since we do not want it to display. Okay, then press enter. Okay, something went wrong. Very messy. Okay, there is no attribute as price. Sorry. ID, comma, type 1. So it returns us type academic. Since I wrote type is equals to 1, it means only just I want to print type of the records that are present in my database. Okay, so let's move ahead. If we want to enter multiple conditions, since I have added only a single condition through which I was able to print this, if I want to add multiple conditions, then for that we use AND operator. This AND operator will take a array of document statements and will return you with the output similar to the above output. Okay. Here I wrote only one query. Here you will add multiple queries. Okay. Can you ping me on the chat window that if I'm going very slow or very fast? I'm not getting. Session is going to end in half an hour, so I'll try to end it within 30 minutes. Uh, since we need to learn about aggregation and indexing, etc. And at the end of the workshop, you'll get the certificate and along with the resources. Resources will be mailed to you. In resources includes test series and a project statement that will help you to get a command over MongoDB. Since it includes a certificate and free resources that are developed for even for our hard work, we should get paid, right? So it's a 40 rupees for the cost of the certificate is 40 rupees along with the resources that are being provided by us. Okay, then we have table.find. In find we can add and and consists of an array of values. In this array of values we have multiple documents. Due to the time constraint, I'm not going to tell you each and every step, each and every command. So try to practice it by yourselves since your concept should be clear. CLS. Then after the read operation, we go to update operation. Update operation is quite similar to create operation. So let's move ahead with the update operation. db.table8 dot update. In update, we'll enter the condition where we want to update our queries. So rating, where rating is 5, I want to update its type to using the set operator. I'm going to add its type to 1. Okay, there is operator remaining. db.update where rating is 5, I am going to set db.table8.update where rating is 8, it gets really messy when you write a long document. Then set is basically a operator. There are multiple operators like LT operator, which is used for less than or greater than symbol. We have GT command and many more. See, it is giving me a result as n matched since there is no category with rating 8. If I want to, if I enter a update command and that condition doesn't exist, then it will automatically create a row or a document with these content in the table. But for that you need to add one more thing, that is upsert. Upsert is a new command for you. We are going to use upsert. Upsert equals to 2. Upsert equals to true. Since it is in the document format, please try to keep calm while writing this. And modified is equals to 1 and upserted is equals to 1. It has updated one more row inside the inside your table, that is update table. Okay. If you want to show your if you want to fetch the results from your table, just use the find command and you can check at any point of time that what is inside your table. As you can see, the rating 8 and type 1 got inserted using update command while using upsert query. Okay, use upsert equals to true and your update query will act as a insert query. Now we have delete operation. Delete operation is quite uh, is quite easy comparatively. In this you can write table 8 db.table 8 dot delete one. If you want to delete only one row, then use delete one. If you want to add delete multiple rows, then use delete many. Delete one, write down the conditions. For example, I want to delete the row with rating as 8. So it acknowledged as true. It means in from my table 8, rating 8 column will rating 8 document should be deleted. As you can see, there is no row with a rating 8. Okay. Since we are done with the CRUD operations, let's move ahead with aggregation. Aggregation is also an important topic from MongoDB. Um, Aggregation means, suppose I want to perform actions, some operations on an array of values. We cannot perform that obviously using read, create or delete command. We need some computational functions. If you are from SQL background, you might have studied about that count function or sum function. Similarly, in NoSQL we use dollar for these symbols. We have count function, we have distinct function. Similarly, we have sort function. So aggregation includes these computational functions. So for example, I want to perform one of the operation on table number 8. I want to count the rows with rating as 4. I want to count the rows which have the rating as 4. Rating as 4. There are 2 rows with rating as 4. Similarly, I can check for rating for 5. Count the number of rows which have rating as 5. There is one row, and for rating 4 there are 2 rows. Similarly, I have distinct db.table8 dot distinct. I want to print all the distinct type. Okay, I'll enter distinct type. It gives you an array of values as an output. It consists of distinct types. Since in our table we have fun two times, but in the table it acts as a Python set where values will not get repeated. Okay. Then we move to our last topic, very last topic. Due to the time constraints, as I told you in earlier as well, we'll try to cover only the important topics from the workshop on the workshop, and these concepts are enough for learning your for moving your steps ahead in the career path of MongoDB. Then we have indexes. Indexes, can you tell me about indexes? Have you ever learned about indexes? What does index means? Indexes are basically, have you ever purchased a book and saw the table of contents? In that, it is in the table of content, there is an indexing procedure. For example, at page number 1, we have introduction, page number 2, we have overview. That makes us easy to explore or to navigate from one topic to another topic. Similarly, if you index your database, then it is quite a easy process to search for the element that you are searching for. Indexes are of three types. That is single index. Another one is index, and the last one is text index. So we're going to learn each and every index in quite few minutes. So for indexing have two values like 1 and -1. One will be used for ascending order indexing. Suppose you want to index them from 1 to 10 order, or if you want them to index in a opposite manner, then we'll use -1 for descending order, from a bigger value to the lower value, -1. So let's start with our table 8. Table 8, create index. I should be capital. Create index. Then on which field we want to create index? Suppose we want to create an index on our rating field. We want and in a ascending order, so we'll give the value as 1. If we want it to be in a descending order, then we can give the value as -1. So in this case we are going to give it a ascending value. So close the document and close the function create index. It has created the index automatically. Okay. Suppose I want to, second terminology was compound index. It was the example for single index. Then we have our compound index. In compound index, as the name suggests, in compound index, we can have multiple criteria to index them. In compound index, we will have n number of attributes to index. In single indexing, we have used only one document. But in compound index, we can use multiple documents. For example, rating 1 in ascending order, comma, type -1. So we can use multiple attributes to get indexed in compound index. Okay. Then we have text index. In text index, we will give the indexing as in the form of text. For example, I have cost criteria, right? For example, we'll give a text indexing in the way like it is the first element. So first will be our text indexing first value. So we'll perform the indexing in this manner. Okay. I think I have skipped one topic, that is LT. $LT. It is used for lesser than or equals to comparison. We have then GT, that is greater than. Then we have GTE, $GTE, that stands for greater than and equals to. You were thinking that where we'll use that, then we'll use that in find. In find, we have the first document for query, right? For condition. So for condition, we can use that where price is greater than 40. Okay. Or where price is less than or equals to 40. We can use this in the query format. Then I think we are left with sort operation only. So for sorting, and let me clear you the term sort. Suppose I want to sort them. I want to sort them in ascending order. I want to sort the table number 8 in ascending order. So I'll use this function sort and will enter rating as 1. It will sort my complete document. So these were the functions that you should be familiar with. And in MongoDB, there is a lot scope. So since you are aware that even Instagram uses MongoDB, so MongoDB is a great career. Even in NoSQL databases, you can learn any database like Mongo Cloud and Redis. Redis is a good one. Redis is very good for real-time migration. It has dynamic properties that MongoDB do not have. Though MongoDB versions are coming day by day, which are adding the features, but still Redis has no comparison. Redis is very nice. So I'll take up the questions if you have any. Yes, the certificate will cost you around 40 rupees because along with the certificate we'll provide you with the resources that include our test series and the documents and a project folder, and we have really worked hard on these projects by our own. So I think the hard work needs a payoff, right? And 40 rupees is a minimal amount. Even people ask for 200 rupees, but for test series and I think for project it's a minimal amount. No, the session, we have always mentioned that session is free. We do not mention that certificate is free. In the other section, in the previous sessions, we have already clearly mentioned that certificate by this organization. We have just mentioned in the document that session will be free and 40 rupees is just a minimal amount. You purchase at Cadbury of 40 rupees. So I think you do not have any question related to MongoDB. You all are worried about certificate part. Yes, recording will be provided. It will be present on this YouTube channel, so you can always refer that. And I'll also provide you in the mail. In the mail, when you will fill the form, in the mail I'll provide you the free resources from which where you can learn about MongoDB in deep. Okay, if you want to use MongoDB with Angular, we can have another session on Angular because it's a long process and it's not possible for me to tell you because most of the people are not aware with Angular. Do you have any other question? Thanks, Gaurav. If you have any question, then please, I'll wait for 5 more minutes if you have any. Okay, I think you don't have any questions. So I'll end up the session. Thank you very much. It was nice being with you.